are way better than they were, and we've turned the corner dramatically.
How the Baltimore curfew affected the city next.
A baseball game without fans or peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Learn more about this Major League First coming up.
And the search for survivors in Nepal continues. How the United States is helping tonight. UATV News starts right now.
Welcome to this Wednesday night edition of UATV. I'm Chris Redfern.
And I'm Taylor McGregor.
Well, we begin tonight with an update on the situation in Baltimore. Taylor, what's new today?
Well, Chris, Baltimore police are saying the city is, quote, stable, which is a huge difference from just a day ago. Overnight, police arrested 10 people since a citywide curfew went into effect, and the commissioner says that's exactly what he wanted to hear.
I get reports from the organization that we do not have a lot of activity or movement throughout the city as a whole, so the curfew is, in fact, working as the mayor had called.
Areas that were overrun with looters and fires Monday night were close to empty going into today, except for the thousands of extra law enforcement officers in place for crowd control. This video of public parenting, a mom beating up her son during the Baltimore protests, went viral Tuesday. The mom, Toya Graham, is now speaking on why she went off on her 16-year-old son. Graham told CBS News that she didn't want him to become another Freddie Gray. Graham says she, quote, doesn't play when it comes to any of her 6 kids, and that when her son saw her coming, he said he wanted to run because he knew he was in trouble. In light of recent events in Baltimore, today's Baltimore Orioles versus Chicago White Sox game did not have any fans in the stands. It's believed to be a first in Major League Baseball history. The closed-door contest follows the postponements of Monday and Tuesday's games against the White Sox. This afternoon game was televised, and the Orioles say the tickets to postponed games will be exchanged. Chris?
Thanks, Taylor. In Nepal, more than 5,200 people are known to have died in Saturday's earthquake and subsequent aftershocks. Injured people are still arriving at hospitals and military bases for treatment today. President Obama talked to the Prime Minister of Nepal to send his condolences.
The President pledged the United States will do all it can to help the people of Nepal in this time of need.
The United Nations says more than $21 million worth of international aid has arrived so far. At disaster sites across the capital, Nepalese police are working alongside rescue teams from around the world. Rescuers know that time is running out. Humanitarian organizations from around the world are prepared to send aid into the country, but the congestion at Kathmandu Airport has meant that teams have had difficulty getting much needed equipment and aid into the country.
Most of the houses are damaged, and also the health infrastructure is too bad. So when we rescue people, when we get them to the hospital, it's all very low quality health service.
It's a race against time and to find more survivors, and the weather conditions aren't making it any easier. Weather conditions there have been rough, but it's been a nice day on the Hill.
Yeah, Chris, it really has, but well, that's all we can say right now. So let's head out to Jordan Betts because she has the information on what the weather looks like. Jordan.
Hey guys, what a beautiful day it was here in North. Many people have been wanting to see the sun come out and shine here in Northwest Arkansas after we've had a couple of rainy days. And let me tell you, the sun is going to stick around. Let's get what happened here in Northwest Arkansas today. Today's high was 73 degrees, partly cloudy day, pretty nice day. Current conditions 66 degrees. Sun is still out shining, and your sunset will be at 8:02. So if you want to get outside and do some more things, you still got about an hour with the sun still set. But let's get a look at your daytime tracker for tomorrow, April 30th. 48 degrees is your temperature when starting out, but the sun will be out, and your sunrise at 6:25, pretty early for the sun to be out. When you get to your lunch hour at 70 degrees, pretty sunny days, like I said earlier. And then continuing on at 5 p.m., your traffic hour, 72 degrees, your sunset at 8:03. Like I said, right now it's beautiful here at the Kyle Greek Theater. Please get outside if you can, and you believe me, you're going to miss out on some great weather, but I'll have more on your 5-day forecast in just a little while. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jordan. With graduation happening next weekend, UATV's Farah Abu Saif found out how seniors are preparing to end their time here at the U of A.
Graduation is probably the most terrifying and exciting moment of any college experience.
You will graduate, don't worry, it's gonna happen.
Time is ticking and the real world is waiting. Holmes says it's important for students to brush up on professional and networking skills to make sure they're ready for life after college.
Just network as much as you can. It's something as simple as thinking of a place you would love to work, sending an email, and going in and meeting with them.
Students like Ayana Gray say you should ask for help and follow directions from your professors when it comes to planning your future.
As a senior, as a junior, it's really important to be willing to just close your mouth and listen and absorb what other people that have been there have to say.
But it's not only about who you know, but who also knows you. Forbes magazine released a study that said more than 60% of employers look up a job candidate on social media to see how they represent themselves.
A lot of likes and retweets, and that just that spreads your work around, and it sometimes falls in the hands of the right people.
Both girls say it's important to try to highlight your skills, whether it be activities on campus or things that make you unique.
Any chance to serve the community, I think that's really, really important while I'm young and while I have all this free time to do it. But you never know what opportunities can manifest from leaving a good impression with someone.
And as you get ready to walk down the stage, there are a few things to keep in mind.
You have to grind before you shine.
It's your future, you're going to be doing it forever, so it doesn't have to be as stressful.
Thanks, Farah. Commencement for the 2015 class will be on May 9th. Undergraduate students are individually recognized at their respective college ceremonies across campus. Graduation activities will begin Friday, May 8th in the Bud Walton Arena with the College of Education and Health Professions. Activities will end with the School of Law Saturday, May 16th at the Fayetteville Town Center.
Tyson Foods is the latest chicken company to phase out antibiotics in its poultry. Tyson says it hopes to remove all human antibiotics from its chicken over the next 2 years. The concern is that the use of antibiotics to treat sick chickens is making medicines for humans less effective and contributing to the spread of drug-resistant bacteria. In other news, the Fayetteville Police Department is teaming with Project Right Choice to help keep Fayetteville clean. A drug take-back event on Saturday provides easy disposal of prescription medicines with no questions asked. UATV's Lori Tolley has a story.
Set up in a Harps parking lot, the police department and Project Right Choice wanted to give people an opportunity to get rid of their old drugs the right way.
There are so many expired, unused prescriptions sitting around in medicine cabinets and drawers, purses, all over the place that can either fall into the hands of people who don't really need them, or, like I said, will end up in the water supply, will end up in our landfills.
Most people flush their old medicine down the toilet once it's expired, but doing this can not only harm the water system, but the wildlife in it.
The goal of this program is mostly education. You know, the United States is less than somewhere around 5% of the world's population, but we use about 80% of the painkillers and prescription drugs in the world.
Fayetteville Mayor Lionel Jordan has been a part of the program since its start in 2010. He believes the impacts have been huge.
Every time we do this program, we will bring in about 100 pounds of prescription drugs. So we know, if we know that the majority of the people that is abusing drugs is through prescription drugs, and we can take that many 100 pounds off the street every time that we have one of these programs, it's well worth the effort that we put into it.
That's about 1,000 pounds of drugs since the start of the program. Reporting for UATV, I'm Laurel Talley.
The next drug take-back event will be in October.
The United States has negotiations with a foreign power. Who the U.S. might be trading with soon? Next.
And one Boston bombing victim is celebrating 2 years later. Find out how after the break. UATV News will be right back.
The site of the world's worst nuclear disasters is on fire.
And one Boston bombing victim is trotting across the finish line.
For all this and more, we head over to Cassie Sherm with a look at your news from around the world.
Firefighters are working to extinguish a wildfire inside the Chernobyl exclusion zone. The forest fire started Saturday, and officials say it has burned about 1.5 square miles. The fire is especially difficult because there is still radioactivity in the forest. It's only about 12 miles from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster back in 1986. The cause of this fire is still unknown. And the Nigerian armed forces have rescued 293 girls and women in the Sabisa forest. a known Boko Haram stronghold. An army spokesman says they are not the schoolgirls abducted from the Chibok 1 year ago. But he adds, quote, "We stumbled on the girls and we may find more." The military's official Twitter account says the troops captured and destroyed 3 terrorist camps. A Nigerian military spokesman says the mission is ongoing. And today, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe became the first Japanese leader to ever address the U.S. Congress. A free trade deal was the main focus of his congressional speech, and the Prime Minister and President Obama are working with 10 other countries to finalize the Trans-Pacific Partnership of one of the biggest deals in history.
I have lots of things to tell you, but I'm here with no ability nor the intention to filibuster.
Abe and President Obama want Congress to fast-track a bill on the agreement trade. Negotiators say getting an okay from Congress will help close the deal. A professional ballroom dancer made a dramatic comeback yesterday after losing part of her leg in the Boston Marathon bombings.
It's helping others see difficulties in their own lives and showing them that they can overcome and they can overcome any obstacle. It's helping others see.
Trotted across the marathon finish line and trampled on the memory of losing her left leg 2 years ago.
It's helping others see difficulties in their own lives and showing them that they can overcome and they can overcome any obstacle.
Forum restaurant when second of the 2 explosions blasted marathon spectators. Her recovery continues, as does her husband's. And that will do it for a look around your world. I'm Cassie Sherman.
Thanks, Cassie. A new species of dinosaur has been found. How it was found next.
And one well-known beer company is causing controversy. Find out why when UATV returns.
Welcome back to UATV. I'm Jordan Betts with your weather. Right now, I'm live from the Coyote Greek Theater that's being renovated here on campus, but you don't want to know much about that. You want to know what's going on here in Northwest Arkansas and across the world. We're going to have a look at your national temperatures. Right now, here in Northwest Arkansas, 70 degrees. We go towards Central Arkansas, 77 degrees. Pretty nice temperatures across the United States right now, but some places are still seeing in the 40s and 50s, so be grateful. Here in Arkansas, we're seeing the 70s. Right now, your national Doppler radar does not much is going on here in Arkansas or most of the mid-America, but we're still seeing some rain exit out the United States and into some Florida area. Will be getting some rain here in the next couple of days and into the next 24 hours. Tonight's forecast, 50 degrees in the Kansas City area, 51 in St. Louis. Pretty much the 50s all over the mid-Americas, 52 in Memphis, 52 in the Dallas area. Not much really going on, but here we go on into Thursday night's Thursday night's forecast. 49 degrees, 53 in Oklahoma City, 48 in Memphis. And then Friday, tomorrow's forecast, will be seeing some pretty sunny skies. 79 in Oklahoma City. In North Texas, 80 degrees, Houston 83. And really sunny skies, 77 in Kansas City. Now, your Saturday forecast, though, let me tell you, it'll be really sunny skies here in Northwest Arkansas. 80 degrees in Kansas City, 78 in St. Louis. Here in Northwest Arkansas, I'll be in there the 75, 80 degree range. So it'll be light chill, but it'll still be nice to go outside, enjoy some things here in Northwest Arkansas, like going to the farmer's market early Saturday morning. Now we go on to your right now forecast and what it feels like here across the Arkansas temperatures. 70 degrees in Harrison, 74 in Russellville, 76 in the Little Rock area, and 70 near the Fayetteville area. Now, right now, I told you I was live at the Coyote Greek Theaters. Still some pretty nice weather. The sun is still setting, so your temperatures are still pretty nice in the 70-degree area, and your sunsets will be setting in about 30-40 minutes. So try to get outside if you can. Now, like I said, I was live here at the Coyote Greek Theater, and back to you at UATV.
Thanks, Jordan. With summer quickly approaching, food trucks across Fayetteville prepare for an increase in business. UATV's Anna Johnson looked into how food trucks stay afloat year-round.
Food truck locations like Schulertown and the Yacht Club have grown in popularity in the last year and expect more business as the weather gets warmer. As opposed to brick-and-mortar business, food truck owners enjoy more freedoms as to how their business is run. Amber Saforic, owner of Natural State Sandwiches, says she prefers owning a truck to working in a restaurant.
With the food truck, I have a lot more flexibility, creativity, and I get to actually stay in the kitchen.
While some food trucks seem to have constant business throughout the year, many owners don't have the same luck. Abby Rose, co-owner of Kona Coast Tacos, says being in the business brings on financial difficulties.
It has its ups and downs, definitely seasonality.
However, for owners like Saforic, staying in business has never been an issue.
The food brings the people. We're here year-round. We have people year-round.
Mobile vendor centers such as the Yacht Club and Schulertown have helped food trucks increase in business, but for some, that's still not enough.
The goal is to thrive on the good days and survive the bad days.
For UATV, I'm Anna Johnson.
Natural State Sandwiches and Kona Coast Tacos are open during lunch Tuesday through Saturday. Bud Light is no longer, quote, up for whatever. A slogan on the beer bottles is being removed. It reads, the perfect beer for removing no from your vocabulary for the night. Protests quickly erupted on social media and critics called it a poor message in the wake of a public outcry over date rape on college campuses. The company says it will no longer use the slogan, but would not say how many labels there are with the message already out.
A Florida dairy farmer welcomes an unusual bundle of joy, a two-headed calf. Dwight Cruz said he found the newborn in the field on Sunday. His family has been raising cattle for 60 years, but Cruz says none of his people have ever seen anything like this. The calf is being bottle fed. She hasn't been able to stand yet because she is weak and her head is very heavy. Ripley's Believe It or Not has already contacted the family. According to their records, the longest a two-headed calf has lived is 40 days. Lots of young children love dinosaurs, but not many actually get to discover a whole new dinosaur species. Researchers in Chile unveiled the bones of a Chilesaurus. This week, remains of a Jurassic-era dinosaur were discovered by a 7-year-old boy in southern Chile more than a decade ago. It was 3 thick, short fingers, but only 2 claws. The dinosaur has also short leaf-shaped teeth, which means it was a plant eater. Paleontologists estimate Chilesaurus roamed the earth about 150 years ago. Spring practice is over, but the Razorbacks But the new football season will soon happen. Well, how prepared the Hogs are next.
And the NFL draft is tomorrow. See which former Razorbacks had the best chance to get drafted. Stay tuned. UATV Sports is next.
The post-spring depth chart was released today. There are no real big surprises. Brendan Allen at quarterback, Jonathan Williams at running back, and so on and so forth. Keon Hatcher, Jared Cornelius, and Drew Morgan will each play big minutes at the receiver position. And on defense, the front line will be a mixture of young guys and inexperienced upperclassmen. The linebacking core will be completely new, with Brooks Ellis moving to weak side linebacker, Josh Williams starting at Sam, and Kalia Hackett at Mike. Now, Hackett at Mike shouldn't come as much of a surprise, but it is a new position for him. He has been learning from Brooks Ellis and has been adapting to his new role nicely. The sophomore might be just learning middle linebacker, but Coach Bielema says he has a knack for the position.
I think he's a smart player. I think he's very aggressive. He's a kid that I got to get on every practice. He's always hitting somebody he shouldn't be hitting, so he's an aggressive player by nature.
Hackett finished the red-white game with just 1 tackle, but he also had 2 pass breakups. And with spring practice officially over, the Razorbacks will be looking to next year's football season. The Hogs start the season September 7th against UTEP, but Coach Bielema says that his Razorbacks are already way ahead of where they were this time last year. Coach B says that his players have bought in, and now they all know exactly what he wants from them.
They know when they're not playing at the level they need to. You know, if it's a practice maybe where they didn't execute, I really don't have to say much after the session because they know it.
Last year, the Razorbacks defeated the Longhorns in the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl for their first bowl victory since 2011. And if you simply can't get enough of Coach Bielema, you can catch him on the NFL Network this Saturday. Bielema will serve as an analyst during the 2015 NFL Draft. He has coached 30 NFL draft picks during his head coaching career, which is the most for a college football head coach with less than 10 years of experience. Bielema will be on NFL Network from 11 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. And Bielema might even be on air when he hears the names of some of his former Hogs called. Arkansas has several players that are expected to get selected in this week's NFL Draft. starting with defensive end Trey Flowers. Flowers is a projected 3rd or 4th round pick who has impressed NFL scouts with his intelligence and his character. Linebacker Martrell Spate falls in the same category. Spate is expected to get drafted in rounds 4 through 6. He was the Razorbacks' surest tackler last year and was a key component in the Hawks' vastly improved defense. And also defensive tackle Darius Philon is considered a 4th or 5th round pick. A.J. Derby could go anywhere between 5th and 7th round of the draft. The quarterback converted to tight end showed great size, speed, and athleticism during his final year at Arkansas. And the Razorback baseball team is traveling to Hoover, Alabama tomorrow for a nationally televised series with the Crimson Tide. Alabama is 23-21 on the year and will be facing an Arkansas team that has jumped into the top 25. The Hawks are 12-4 in the month of April and are currently in 3rd place in the SEC West. The Razorbacks will be led by their pitching staff, which has an ERA of 2.8 over the last 5 games. On offense, the Hawks will turn to Andrew Benintendi, who is 1 home run away from becoming the first player in school history with 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases. And coming up after the break, we'll have a look at your 5-day weather forecast.
Well, we have some sunny days ahead here in Northwest Arkansas. Let's check out your 5-day forecast right now. Thursday, 73 degrees. And as we go on to later in the week, Sunday, though, you'll be seeing some partly cloudy skies, but with a high of 80 degrees, and continuing with Monday with a high of 80 degrees. And that's what's happening outside your front door. I'm Jordan Betts. Back to you guys.
A South Jersey cat named Sprinkles has gained a noticeable amount of fame over her sizable figure. Sprinkles is a domestic shorthair who weighs in at an incredible 33 pounds.
If she were a regular cat, Sprinkles would weigh in about 10 pounds, which she actually weighs in the equivalent of a human, tipping the scales at 600 or 700 pounds.
Sprinkles will eventually go up for adoption, but right now, on a diet of 4 cans of cat food a day. Holy moly. But guys, this is our last newscast of this semester, so thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor McGregor, and as always, go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram.
And I'm Chris Redfern from us and the rest of our staff. Have a great night.